Gregory Lyons. I want you to listen to something.
So get up and get down. 911 is Joker's old town. Get up and get down. Late 911 wears a late crown.
Alright, why do I play 911 as a joke? Today is September 8th, 2009. 3 days we will celebrate the anniversary of 911. 2001. I shouldn't say celebrate the anniversary, that's wrong. We should remember one of the most horrific incidents in the history of the United States of America, one in which 3,000 plus innocent human beings were killed. And the circumstances surrounding this have been labeled by the major media as a terrorist attack. Well, they're right about a terrorist attack, but it wasn't a terrorist attack from Saudi Arabia or from foreign soil. It was a terrorist attack from right here within the U.S., within the people in power, among the high-level people in power. There is blinding evidence to support this claim. The fact that the major media and the government, the current administration, ignores this is disgusting. It's a joke, and it's not a funny joke, it's a bad joke. The first thing I want to do is applaud and commend Mr. Charlie Sheen, Charles Sheen, the actor in Hollywood, for coming forward among all the other, throughout all the other Hollywood celebrities who can't get their lips firmly enough on Barack Obama's ass. I commend you, I stand and applaud you, Mr. Charles Sheen, for seeing Barack Obama for what he is. Nothing more than a corporate shill. Nothing more than a high-placed, let's say Uncle Tom, for lack of a better word, in the government. Now, before he starts shouting racist, it has nothing to do with the fact that he's being black, his being black. It has to do with what he says versus what he does. His campaign was run on change and hope and yes, we can. But the reality of his time in office is nothing more than, if anything, ratcheting up the agenda of the previous administration of George W. Bush and Dick Cheney. I will quote, this is a specific quote that comes from an interview that Charlie Sheen had with the president. But let's be honest, this is Charlie Sheen talking, but let's be honest, you're the president of the United States, the leader of the free world. The buck stops with you. 9/11 has been the pretext for the systematic dismantling of our Constitution and Bill of Rights. Your administration is reading from the same playbook that the Bush administration foisted on America through documented secrecy and deception. President Obama replies, Mr. Sheen, I'm having a difficult time sitting here and listening to you draw distorted parallels between the Bush-Cheney regime and mine. Charlie Sheen answers, Mr. President, the parallels are not distorted just because you say they are. Let's stick to the facts. You promised to abolish the Patriot Act and then voted to reauthorize it. You pledged to end warrantless wiretapping against the American people and now energetically defend it. You decried the practice of rendition and now continue it. You promised over and over again on the campaign trail that you would end the practice of indefinite detention, and instead you've expedited it to permanent detention of detainees without trial. This far exceeds the outrages of the former administration. Call me crazy, Mr. President, but is this not your record? That's facts. You can't argue with these facts. This is a man who was elected on the promise of, what I will change and the hope, because he's a hope to the black people. But this Mr. Barack Obama, President Barack Hussein Obama, is showing himself to be nothing more than a corporate shill. He's an intelligent man, he speaks very well, he's eloquent, but come on, people, we're getting our rights taken away from us, our rights as United States citizens. So again, this is just the beginning. I'm going to, in other videos related to this one, I will be reading the entire interview that Charlie Sheen conducted with Barack Obama. But it's time to wake up, people, because 911 is not a joke at all. 911 on 2001 was the most horrific, murderous crime to take place on American soil since the Civil War. And it's about time that the major media did their job and did some investigating, and that the government officials that we elect also did some investigating and prosecuted the people who allowed this to transpire. There is no limitation. There is no statute of limitation on murders. And there are husbands, wives, brothers, sisters, daughters, sons, mothers, fathers that have lost their loved ones in these horrific attacks. And they need some sense of closure and justice. And remember, even if I vanish, even if the CIA, FBI, whatever, detains me, throws me in a jail, and I die, I'm just flesh and bone. To quote the movie V for Vendetta, beneath this flesh and bone, there are ideas, and you cannot kill an idea. Truth is the only authority.